Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Fitzgerald Hyundai in Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We have it. This is the 2020 Hyundai Sonata. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, haven't you already reviewed this car already? Guess what? We're the first, and we're probably the only channel to do this. We are now doing the SE trim. So the SE trim is your entry-level trim, then SL, and then of course you could go all the way up to limited. But let's talk a little history about the Sonata. Sonata's been around since the late 1990s, has been that mid-size car to go up against rivals like the Mazda 6, the Honda Accord, the Toyota Camry, so on and so forth. It's gone through its different generations and iterations of design. One thing is for sure with this new 2020, there's a lot of people talking about it and bringing people back to the sedan because of all the excitement that it has. Now, being an SE trim, what's wonderful is that it actually has a little bit different look than the other two trims, but one thing is for sure, just as eye-catching and has probably one of the biggest touches, which we're gonna dive into right away. So let's go ahead, get into the Sonata SE. Right off the bat, the biggest talking point is gonna be the headlight design and what Hyundai is calling the hidden lighting lamp. So you have your headlight here, everything blacked out inside, LED daytime running lamp, but guess what? Your daytime running lamps actually go into the trim. This portion of the trim here lights up, and at night gives it a very, very unique look. The trim continues back into chrome and goes down the side of the car. Very, very unique and something that you're not gonna see on any other midsize. Down below, SE, this is a specific front fascia. The whole front fascia is specific to the SE. You can see you have functional air curtains, tasteful chrome trim. We come across the all-new grille design. With the SE, it actually looks less catfish or whale shark look compared to the higher trims. You have tasteful chrome horizontal bars. The Hyundai logo, you work your way down, you can see how that chrome trim starts from one corner, comes all the way to the other. And I like the flat black here. This is gonna take a nice beating, and it kind of breaks up the sea of chrome and the gray color. Now, looking at the front of the car, you can see just how the hood slopes down very, very sharp. We go up onto the hood. You can see the two body lines here. Nice rise right in the center. Very powerful lines. You got the two higher edges to give it just enough personality, enough of a flavor to it to separate it. You're definitely not going to confuse this with a Honda Accord. I promise you that. Now, as we come around the bend here, you can see daytime running lamp, the hidden lighting lamp, the trim here. Even the way that they do the light here, it has a nice shape and it follows the line, the body line all the way around the fender wheel setup. Now, this is unique to the SE and this is the base trim, so I'm not going to zonk it. It's just a simple metallic silver. I do like some of the design element to it. And if you're wondering, well, what is the size of this wheel? You're looking at a 16-inch wheel. It's a 205 on the width and a 65 series sidewall. That's going to give you a nice soft ride. And guess what? The tires are way cheaper when you're looking at a 16-inch rim compared to, say, a 20-inch rim. But has a nice balance to it. As we go into the fender, you can see the nice sharp line that gets picked up here, goes down the whole belt line, color match mirrors, which is a nice touch. And then that chrome trim, I promised you, goes down the side and actually goes right into the rear quarter window area, which is a really, really nice touch. Flat black, color match door handles, and look at the low side sill extension. I like the way it's flat black and it extends pretty aggressively out. Nice touch, kind of flares out and then comes back to the rear. And then as we work our way, you can see the nice body line into the rear of the car. And this is another big talking point. This unique taillight design. A lot of people are saying it looks like a Civic. We kind of drop down, you have your LED lighting in there. Look at how the reflector material, the red plastic, goes into the trunk. You actually have some vortex generators on the top to kind of chill out that air as it flows off the back of the car. Really, really defined line here. You can see the angle. I like the Sonata script, and it's growing on me. I like this red strip that goes across the center. We come down, it's just clean. No fake exhaust, no fake vents. Little bit of flat black is fine, and I like the addition of the chrome trim. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering the Sonata SE. All right, guys, we have the hood popped. You do get a hood strut even on the base model, the SE trim. What you're looking at underneath that engine cover is a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter inline 4 direct injected engine, 191 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated to a CVT. In the SE, you do get a CVT, so that is probably the weakest link in this whole setup. It weighs around 3,120 pounds, and the great news is you're gonna get 28 miles to the gallon in the city, 38 on the highway. Remember, this is not a compact car, this is a mid-size car. Underneath, everything looks clean. They actually give some style to the engine cover, even though most people that own this car won't ever pop their own hood. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out that interior and see what's different with the 2020 Sonata SE. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Sonata SE. I know you're probably wanting me to get to that point. Well, Joe, this is all new. I'm liking the look. I love this flat gray color. How much is it? MSRP for this one, $24,000, if you could believe that, for a midsize. I think that's a really, really great price. Let's see what kind of value you get for it. Now, to the door panels, there is a lot of dark material. The good news is, though, at the top of the door panel, it's soft, and the armrest material is soft. And look at how they took the silver trim and started it on the middle section and then brought it right into the door handle. You have a pocket down low for some Twinkies or maybe some packages of M&Ms. As we go to the dash, soft material, you got the simulated stitching. I like the design of the AC vents, the silver trim. You have a nice 8-inch infotainment system as your SE trim. You could get this bigger, obviously, in the higher trims. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is a nice, wonderful touch. Easy to use. You could get your driving information. I like the addition of the silver. You do have your good old-fashioned key ignition with the Hyundai logo and the buttons on the back. And I even like the touches on the tips of the stalks here. It's got a nice design to it. I'll go ahead and fire it up again. Little bit of gloss black on the edges and down below, but it looks really, really nice. And there's really no reason why you would be putting your fingerprints there unless you want to just piss somebody off. But you have regular AC controls. Very, very nice feel to the clicks. It's got a soft click, which feels like quality, which is nice. Large cubby area. You could put just about anything, a king-size Snickers. You could even fill this whole thing up with about 8 Twinkies, but you have a 12-volt, 2 USBs, which is wonderful. I like the way it kind of comes into your cup holder area. I'm not really loving the gloss black on the transmission area. So this is your push button transmission for the CVT. I wish it was this nice material that they have here. It looks a lot cleaner and no fingerprints. You do have a drive mode selector with 4 different modes, which is a nice touch, and I'll show you that more when you come to the business end. Armrest is nice and soft. I like the stitch work. I like how high this edge comes up. Open it up, you could put about 3 bags of those small Lay's chips in there. Very nicely done. And then seats on the SE trim are cloth. I do like the stitch work, and I like the color combination, and they feel like they would wear extremely really well. Light headliner, super smart, kind of brighten it up in here. But why don't you come over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of the all-new Sonata. All right, guys, business end, behind the wheel, you have your manual controls, which is okay. They're good enough to give you what you need for getting into your seat. You do have just a rubber steering wheel. I wish it was some fake leather or something, but remember, we're looking at price point. You can see that material. I do like this plastic textured thing going on here. Flat black on the buttons, and then the dash, straightforward and makes sense. Analog tach, analog speedometer, all backlit LED. You have that information display in the center that you could toggle through all sorts of information, which makes it nice and usable. And it really doesn't feel like a base model in here. Now, if you go and you sit in a limited and then sit in this car, then there's gonna be something to think about, but plenty of headroom, feels great. My only zonk is I don't like this bottom portion of the steering wheel here. I wish it was not there, or I wish it gave you just a support in the center. So I am gonna zonk that, but let's go ahead, check out the back seats and see how your passengers are gonna like the new Sonata. All right, guys, back seat time. The one thing is for sure, no matter if you go SEL, SE, Limited, whatever the trim is, you get tons of room back here. Very, very comfortable. I like the angles of the seat. Dark material all the way around the back of the seat. You just get one pocket for the abacus or for a slice of pizza that you can slide in there. Nothing for me on my side, and no connectivity whatsoever. There should at least be a 12 volt. Even on the SE trim, just one 12 volt. Other than that, like I said, the seats are comfortable. You don't have an armrest on the SE either, but I'm trying to compare apples to apples. What you do have plenty of is headroom. So that's really the most important part. But why don't we check out the trunk, see how usable that space is in the Sonata. All right guys, trunk time on the new Sonata. It's really cool. You actually hit right there on the emblem, open it up, nice wide opening. The seats are gonna do a 60-40 split, which is great, and that's gonna allow you to maximize the space in your Sonata. Very well engineered pull tabs, so you don't have to go inside to put the seats down, and really the trunk opened nice, effortlessly, not a problem. I even like the extension piece on that trunk. Nice extra touch, but why don't we go ahead, let's take this Sonata SE for a spin and see how it drives. All right guys, we're in the 2020 Sonata SE. The wonderful thing is you got great visibility out the front windshield, especially how far they pulled apart those A-pillars. Out the back, it's a little weird because the carpeted area behind the headrest is a little high and it's actually in your view, but still out the glass you do have a nice wide view. It's just weird to see that carpet. It seems a little higher compared to a Camry or an Accord. The steering has a very, very nice light feel to it. If you put it into sport mode, it actually changes that. So the different modes, whether it's custom, smart, normal, or sport, is gonna change the steering feel. It's gonna change how throttle sensitivity is, steering sensitivity, and I noticed as soon as I put it in sport, it does put a little bit more weight on the steering. Driving down, the seats are comfortable and supportive, and overall they feel great, and there's lots of room up here. It actually, for, like I said, for the base model or entry-level model, it does have a nice feel in here. All right guys, let me give you a little bit of acceleration test on throttle. 2.5 liter with the CVT. You do have the simulated shifts, and remember, if you don't want to go CVT route, you don't have to say the heck with the Sonata. Just go into a higher trim level, and they have the nice shifting 8-speed automatic transmission. Steering, like I said, has great feel. The ride quality is really nice, and it is quiet inside this cabin for sure. Everything is within reach. I'm even digging the style of the infotainment system. It's a design that's becoming more and more popular, and it really does give it a nice look in here for sure. Let me go ahead and accelerate again on a turn. You do have lane keep assist, you do have emergency brake detection and all those other safety features which are important, and you're getting a really great return on MPGs in here. Going over these bumps, super smooth. Car soaks it right up, and just overall I'm very impressed with what they have done with the new Sonata. I'm trying to keep it apples and apples, so like I said, I'm keeping the zonks to a correct amount based off of this being a $24,000 mid-size sedan, not some fully loaded version, and this is what we have. But overall, very, very impressed and like the ride quality in the Sonata. Would I take this over a Honda or a Toyota? I don't know. I think really where my heart is I do really like the Honda Accord Sport. I think for dollar, that really gives you the best value. But if you really want something that's going to be a standout in the looks department, especially in this beautiful color, this gray color on this particular one, the Sonata SE is definitely one you need to look at, and definitely has a lot of room in that back seat. But hopefully this gives you a nice overall feel of what the Sonata is all about, especially the SE trim. We're going to wrap this up and get back to Fitzgerald's Hyundai, so I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, another great day here at Fitzgerald Hyundai. Definitely got to thank Rob and the rest of the crew getting us access to another 2020 Sonata. It's nice to see all the trims, and I'm glad to bring to you this SE trim. I think it's bringing a lot for the money, and the design is very unique and stands out for sure. But if it's mid-size like these you want to see on the channel, write a comment in the comment section. If you are new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ladies Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner, working the camera, working all day, getting these cars done. Thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.